8 early and went quiet for about 10 minutes.
Fredette looked to be slightly out of control on this attack of the rim. Not a whole lot of contact. Nice try by Tyler Lamb. Then here, nice back cut. Jump in the cup. Make no doubt about it. Dunk the basketball.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful.
It's our most wonderful line of the year. During the GMC holiday event, sign and drive a GMC Acadia for $384 per month with nothing due at signing. It's our best offer of the year.
This new Jetta is awesome.
Yeah. Right now during Sign Then Drive, you can take home a Volkswagen for just your signature.
Really? That's great.
Yeah. Plus it includes scheduled carefree maintenance.
Huh.
Light screen. There you go. Oh, you need a pen. I had one here just a second ago. Who would take my pen?
It's amazing what you can do with a pen. Sign Then Drive is back. For a limited time, get any 2011 Volkswagen for practically just your signature.
What's that?
Oh, you mean this giant check for 522 big ones? It's just the staggering amount of money I save people on average when they call me, the saver, to switch their car insurance to Esurance.
You mean the same amount they save when they switch to Esurance online?
Do we have any giant envelopes?
Cost $522.
You take a check?
You could save 522 big ones. See for yourself at Esurance. Technology when you want it, people when you don't.
Welcome back to the John R. Wooden Classic, brought to you by KFC. Something that was very dear to John Wooden's heart was helping out Special Olympics. Yesterday at practice, Special Olympians worked out, getting a little instruction from coaches like Dave Rose and Ben Howland. The players were there as well. You saw Tyler Honeycutt and Lazarick Jones working with the youngsters, and Jamal Wilkes, one of the greatest Bruins of all time there.
Silky smooth, and why this man is still trying to get into the Hall of Fame, I'll never know. He needs to be in there. He's nominated once again. It's based upon your whole body of work. He was a 3-time All-American at UCLA, a couple of national championships, a couple of 30-0 seasons. He could have not played one game of NBA basketball and still be Hall of Fame worthy. Get Jamal Wilkes into the Hall of Fame right now.
That man, Ben Howland, spoke with Jamal yesterday, and Ben Howland said they dedicated every single practice this week to Coach Wooden, and this entire season is being dedicated to Coach Wooden.
Pyramid of success sewn on the jerseys right above, right around the left shoulder area. Man, they felt bad. I mean, last year Mississippi State comes in and just kind of waxes in front of Coach Wooden. So you know they in terms of just retribution and payback, they would love to make a good showing at UCLA in this year's Wooden Classic.
It's interesting, Ben Howland is switching Malcolm Lee and Lazarick Jones to keep a fresh player on Jimmer Fredette. Jones is a good defender.
And I actually thought he would be better suited just because he's a little bit quicker of foot, I thought, than Malcolm Lee, but Malcolm did a terrific job.
Yes, he did. The ball goes out of bounds. It still belongs to the Cougars.
And one thing BYU does on these inbounds plays underneath, they will look to work for a shot for Jimmer Fredette off an inbounds play. And he'll get, he may up screen and get a ball screen out top, but they're looking to free him up. Here's the up screen. Get it back here. Here comes the ball screen out top. So they're looking aggressively for him to score the basketball, even on the inbounds plays.
Short with the fade, and picked up by BYU's Collinsworth. Fredette again. Nope. This time Lane seals his man up. Outlet to Jeremy Anderson. Tyler Lamb has not been able to hit a three-pointer, and they really believe he has to be able to hit that shot to open up his drives because he is a high leaper, an All-American from modern day.
They're going to crowd him on that three-point line. They're not going to let him walk into the basket without a couple of bodies to go through.
Nice pass inside the lane, and he is fouled. I'll tell you, that coach at modern day, Gary McKnight, does a great job, and Lamb came to Ben Howland very, very ready to play.
Yeah, spent a couple of years playing for Coach McKnight at modern day after spending his first 2 years at Colony High School. But Tyler Lamb, very fundamentally sound. Nice job on the bounce pass inside to Brendan Lane.
UCLA 11 for 13 from the foul line today, and BYU, normally a great foul shooting team, is only 1 for 4.
The Bruins have BYU just a bit out of sync offensively. A lot of it has to do with the defensive approach to Jimmer Fredette and the effectiveness of both Malcolm Lee starting out and now Lazarick Jones.
Dave Rose was concerned about that, concerned about UCLA's physicality, particularly at the 4 and 5 spots. Jones on Fredette. Jones almost got the steal, and it goes a foul on Lazarick. His second foul.
You see, UCLA's defenders, Lazarick Jones, Malcolm Lee, they're forcing the issue. Fredette asks for a clear out. While he's asking for the clear out, Jones reaches in, pokes the basketball away. Malcolm Lee has done the same thing when he's kind of relaxing and looking to get his game off. UCLA tightens up their defense on the perimeter against it.
Jones out, Lee back in. Malcolm on, Jimmer Fredette, the All-American candidate.
Nice job, Anthony Stover on the show help. Big body in front of Fredette coming off that screen.
Well, he fought his way in between 2 defenders and picked up the foul. When I first heard about Jimmer Fredette, I thought he was a guy who was just a great shooter. And then I looked at his numbers and saw 480 free throw attempts in his career, and he's made 420 of those. Outside, inside, success story.
Yeah. He's getting to the free throw line almost 7 times a game this season. And for him to score numbers that his team is going to need for them to win this game, it's going to hinge upon his ability to get to the free throw line, I think, in this game, because the Bruins are doing a great job kind of getting into his comfort space way out of the perimeter. Knocked down a couple early on, but you know, he made a believer out of Malcolm Lee. Now he's up in his grill.
And they made 1 of 2. BYU remains down by 7. This is Tyler Lamb looking for an opening. That's the second good pass by Lamb, although Lee unable to finish. Ben looking for the foul.
Nice ball movement. Brother to brother. He ain't heavy. He's my brother, Steve.
Kyle Collinsworth to Chris Collinsworth.
So that was just a great job of interior passing and ball movement, and that's what Brigham Young is going to have to do. UCLA, they're throwing 3 defenders above the free throw line at Jimmer Fredette.
Marcus, earlier you were talking about John R. Wooden's pyramid of success. You were part of his, one of his players, and self-control was one of his keys.
Yeah, you know, self-control, Coach Wooden always talked about it. Never get too high, never get too low. Initiative, cultivate the ability to make decisions, think alone, do not be afraid of failure, but learn from it. All these things, he didn't knock us and beat us over the head with us in practice, but the example that he lived his life by exemplified everything that's in that pyramid of success. He lived it, and that's the toughest part. It's one thing to say it, to preach it. It's another thing to walk it.
I mean, not only was he a great coach, but in 1964 he was named Father of the Year, and 10 years later, John Wooden was named Grandfather of the Year. He was a national treasure.
They had a great Grandfather of the Year award. He would have won that too.
And Tyler Trapani, his great-grandson, is a walk-on who plays for the Bruins. Here's Jeremy Anderson trying to decode that tough 2-3 zone. He loses the basketball. Lamb turns it over. Ahead. Brock Zylstra, good 3 shooters in the game. Kyle Collinsworth with the pull-up. A little long, and Josh Smith grabs it. Nelson, nice catch. Reeves Nelson can't finish.
Bad gamble by Reeves Nelson. BYU can make a pay right here, 5-on-4.
Rogers, he's a great 3 shooter from Mesa, Arizona.
Bad gamble. You're back in the backcourt. You're trying to steal the ball from Fredette. You get yourself out of position. You put your teammates in a bad position.
Ben Howland has sent Tyler Honeycutt and Lazarick Jones both with 2 fouls back to the sideline. He was hoping to escape perhaps his first half and leave him on the bench.
This 2-3 zone is almost like a matchup. It's predicated not on areas, but on man. picking up open players.
I love his play inside. Where he catches the basketball and how he holds it high for a guy 300 pounds.
First of all, 300 pounds is going to establish good position, but he's got tremendous hands inside. Played a little football in his day in high school at Kentwood High School, and he's got terrific feet. Very quick and nimble feet. I asked him about that. He thought playing shortstop and the footwork involved in that was a part of it, but I think it's just natural. I mean, it's almost unnatural, let me say it like that, for a guy this size to have feet that quick. He leads this team in charges taken in terms of getting himself in position defensively to take charges to get one over.
How about Tyler Honeycutt on the tip-in?
Ain't no mountain high. He scales the mountain, goes up on the missed free throw for the tap-in, up by the top of the square. That's athleticism.
Lee remaining on Fredette defensively. He's done a marvelous job in this first half despite Fredette scoring 11. Jimmer very quiet in the second half of this first half.
Good job, Lee fighting through that screen.
How about that? Brock Silster. Are they calling it a blocking foul? Yes, they are. And Reeves Nelson, his first.
The official said that Reeves Nelson adjusted his position, slid to his right just a bit. You know, that's, I think, a good call, because Reeves, after the offensive player leaped in the air, kind of slid underneath to get that position. You can't do that. You got to get there just a count quicker to get yourself in a position to not get the offensive foul.
So Zylstra, who came in averaging 2.5 points per game, only played in 20 games last year and scored a total of 19. They need him. Knocks down the three-point play, and it is a three-point game at the nearing the 4-minute mark of this first half. UCLA at 5-4, BYU at 10-0, the number 16 team in the nation, and by the way, number 5 according to the ratings percentage index. Smith tries to pull his way up. Good defense that time by James Anderson.
Had him sandwich Anderson on the front side, Rogers on the back side.
Fredette on the sideline. Martineau, former walk-on, to take over for him.
Where are they going to get the offense? Collinsworth again, very active.
Well, that was a good pass.
It was. He's active with the basketball. He created what he needed to create. Big fella James Anderson just got to hold on to it.
12 turnovers for BYU, 2 over their game average. This is Steven Rogers, a great three-shooter from Mesa Community College in Arizona. He has pulled BYU within 3 of UCLA.
Long before a Hemi engine powered a Ram truck, it was born up here, tested down here, and proven beyond a doubt out here, and is only available in a pickup under here. A Ram 5-year, 100,000-mile warranty covers you everywhere. Ram.
Now get 0% financing or up to $4,500 total cash allowance on 2010 Ram light and heavy-duty trucks.
And now I'll turn it over to the Gecko.
Ah, thank you, sir. As we all know, Geico has been saving people money on RV, camper and trailer insurance, as well as motorcycle insurance. Ah, sorry. Technical difficulties.
What about this?
What's this one do? Maybe that one.
Okay, let's keep rolling. We run motorcycle insurance?
Take 15 minutes to see how much you could save on motorcycle, RV, and camper insurance.
Two powerful conferences collide in the Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series. The Morris brothers lead nationally ranked Kansas against Cal. The Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series, Wednesday, presented by KFC. Got a need for speed? Or is relaxing more your style? Woo! Either way, we've got you covered. It's the ultimate gadget gift guide, presented by Philips Televisions. All this month on FSN.
UCLA by 3. It's the John R. Wooden Classic and the Pyramid of Success. That was all about the coach. And we're talking team and spirit and skill and knowledge of the ability to properly and quickly execute the fundamentals. And then there's team spirit, a genuine consideration for others and eagerness to sacrifice personal interest of glory for the welfare of all. Well, Rebecca Harlow is with a special guest.
Yes, I've got the living spirit of John Wooden right here, one of 7 grandkids. This is Kathleen Trapani. Now, the Wooden Classic has always been very special for you, but now that your son Tyler is playing on the team, what does this event mean?
Well, it's always been something very special for our family. It's when the whole family gets together for the holidays. And with Tyler on the team, it's just that more special. It's just it's carrying on the legacy of my grandfather. He's the first great-grandchild or grandchild to attend UCLA. And he's actually here for an education and getting the benefit of being on the team as well. So he's having a wonderful time. He hopes to be a teacher and a coach and follow in my grandfather's footsteps. So we're very proud of him.
We all love John Wooden and his quotes. We all have our favorite one. What's yours?
My favorite quote is, "Make each day your masterpiece."
And we understand you're the baker. You're still making cookies for this team.
I do. I make them for all the home games for them to have in the locker room afterwards.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
And Ben Howland says those cookies are delicious.
I remember Kathleen at about 6 or 7 years old on the team bus and all on the road trips and just mischievous and get into everything. But that was Coach Wooden. Loved his family to be around him at all times.
Lazarick Jones for 3 outside, hit better than 40% of his threes in junior college last year.
And went to the same high school as Derrick Rose. Won a state championship together, but his senior year, Lazarick Jones came off the bench, averaged 14.6 assists.
Fredette, meantime, still on the sideline, and UCLA has a chance to go up by 8 or 9 points. Lee inside. Good defense by BYU, so Nelson's got to get out of there with it. Malcolm Lee missing the 3. I think Lane went over the back of a Cougar and will pick up the personal foul.
That's good ball movement. Nice, unselfish. And maybe pass up a good shot for a better shot. And that's the mentality that this team has got to take, not only for the rest of this game, but going into the Pac-10 season that comes in and that starts at the end of this month.
Second foul on Brendan Lane. Jones has 2 and Honeycutt has 2. The 2 Cougars with foul trouble. Hartsock has a pair of fouls, and Chris Collinsworth with 2. Also, Davies had 2 early fouls. Reeves Nelson grabs the miss. This is really unusual because BYU shot 79% from the free throw line last year. Anderson for 3. How about this? This is impressive. This is the biggest lead for UCLA, and they're taking on the number 16 team in the nation, coming in at 10-0 and beating a power in the Pac-10 by 22 1 week ago.
I'll tell you what, I'm happy for Jeremy Anderson. He's had a very solid basketball start to this, his junior year, after struggling last year, played his freshman year behind Darren Collison. But he's a big reason why UCLA is able to establish this 39-30 lead here going into the first half.
Meantime, in game 1, it was St. Mary's against Long Beach State, and this was a terrific basketball game. Hard-fought. Long Beach State went up 10-0. They had a 10-0 lead, but St. Mary's, led by McConnell, came right back and claimed one of the 2 trophies that the winners will receive today.
Randy Bennett, one of the bright young coaches in the country. Dan Monson also does a terrific job at Long Beach State. So this is a coach's kind of a paradise here this afternoon. Ben Howland and Dave Rose, the 2 headmasters going at it this afternoon.
There's a foul on the play. Marcus, interestingly, this might be a year St. Mary's overtakes Gonzaga in the West Coast Conference, because it may be the last year of Gonzaga dominating the WCC, because BYU will move into the West Coast Conference soon.
Excellent point. And Gonzaga had them against Washington State. They're still struggling to find an identity of their own this season. They've got some pieces, but Mark Few and his staff still trying to put it together. So you're absolutely right. This is a perfect opportunity to try and dethrone Gonzaga. That they've dominated that last 11 or 12 years. They have been the team in that conference, not only conference tournament at the end of the year, but also regular season.
Free throws should be a Cougar strength. They have not today, just 4 for 10 after shooting 79% last year and coming in 10 percentage points under that. Back in the 2-3 with Fredette and Emery back in the game. Emery's their best on-ball defender. He's the best defender, really.
And strong side, they're almost playing man-to-man. Whenever the strong side of the ball, here's a man defending the corner. You got Jackson Henry trying to get a steal out top.
Lamb looking. He was looking for the foul. Shouldn't have taken the shot. Lee picks it up, and Lee gets the ball knocked free. Good block by Collinsworth. Fredette. Man, he's clever. And he drew the foul from Jeremy Anderson.
Jimmer awareness. Nice job, Jeremy Anderson. Pick it up, Fredette for Malcolm Lee.
Fans, welcome to the John R. Wooden Classic, brought to you by KFC UCLA with a 39-31 lead over number 16 Brigham Young. I'm Steve Disiak along with Marcus Johnson and Rebecca Harlow from Anaheim, California. We come to you from the Honda Center. Beautiful basketball facility where, fans, you have a chance to see one of the great players in college basketball right there in Jimmer Fredette. He now has 13 points, had 8 quick ones early. UCLA switching their defenders. Lee and Jones on Jimmer have held him down a bit.
And he's got 4 turnovers. You talked about it, Steve. He averages 2 turnovers per game for the season. So already, Bruins have done a nice job discombobulating the Jimmer.
Reeves Nelson with the fade. Nicely done.
I like the work that Reeves Nelson has put in the offseason. No, not on the body art, but on the jump shot.
Fredette. Look at this. Oh, my goodness.
That's one of those shots I'm talking about. I mean, great legs, great athleticism, but the different angles where he's able to find the backboard just amaze you at times.
And he is absolutely under control all time. Poker face, just so cool.
Almost Maravichian after Pete Maravich. I mean, a little contact right there. And the masse, the extension, and the spin. Look at the spin. Got to turn that hand over, get that ball to spin off the very top corner of the backboard.
I loved watching him in practice yesterday. Hey, fans, coming up on the Acura halftime report, an excellent feature on Coach Wooden's Den, which has been reconstructed inside Pauley Pavilion on the campus of UCLA. And then Marcus will recap the first half. That's in a few minutes on the Acura halftime report. Jimmer Fredette trying to keep his team in it. 43-35. Fredette with 15 points. And now he loops in and knocks another down.
You're so used to watching him in tape fade on that jump shot. Malcolm Lee played him for the fade. Fredette with the step through and the beautiful spin, underhanded scoop off the glass.
He now has 17. He had 8 early, then quiet for about a 10-12 minute stretch, and then fantastic the last 2 minutes. Jeremy Anderson on the drive, gets fouled. He'll be at the free throw line with 3.5 seconds to go.
Again, you watch him in film, in the post. He does a great job on this back to the basket fade move. Got to go back to the basket. You think he's fading. Malcolm Lee tries to crowd, little step through, but then the ability to finish, the difficult angled finishes by Fredette amaze you sometimes.
Didn't you tell me at church on Sundays he would have his friends line up chairs in the hallway of the church, turn off the lights and dribble around the chairs?
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it was a hallway called the Gauntlet, and he would dribble in the dark up and down that hallway with his brother sneaking up behind, pounding him.
At the buzzer.